Hey, senior class of 2020.
Seniors 2020 from Student Ministry.
Okay, so this is it.
Congrats, you've graduated, you've done it, you're moving on to the next step. It breaks my heart that you haven't been able to celebrate an in-person graduation or have a prom and things like that. But Jesus has overcome it all.
I can't believe that it's already almost May and already time for you guys to graduate. That's insane.
You are moving on to the next part of your journey and closing out this chapter at Rev. And so as you guys depart, I wanted to leave you with these lasting thoughts.
I've been thinking back on my time with you guys and some of the highlights.
Class of 2020, seniors, I'm so proud of you and everything that you've gone through and fought through to get to where you are today. Most of you, I have been able to be a part of your story and your journey, and I just want to say I'm so excited that I get to celebrate with you.
My favorite memories with the senior guys, it has to be camp. I mean, week in and week out, there's tons of fun stuff that happens, but going to Glorieta for a week really has just been fun. And one of the cool things is that Glorieta, there's all this fun stuff to do. It's crazy. There's paintball, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like our thing was, hey, we're gonna go play Uno for hours, and it's gonna be awesome.
Looking back on the years, there's so many memories that we have shared and have gone through and have made together. But some of my favorites include our ice blocking adventures, our world's largest underwear, corn mazes, singing in the car on the top of our lungs, laughing so hard that maybe one of you may have peed your pants during small group.
So many favorite memories of the class of 2020, usually involving camps. At summer camp, definitely mud wrestling and capture the flag, hiking all the way to go rappelling only to have it be closed. Actually, every single day going to go zip lining and having it be closed just turned into the running bit. At winter camp, for sure tubing. Ask Renee about the tube slide 2020.
One of my favorite memories of the class of 2020 happened super recently on a tubing hill and involved a stray tube that somehow took down at least 7 of us, swimming in tubes, an avalanche of tubes, so much fun. Great memories of corn maze miracles, of ice blocking in the park. So many good memories, so many good laughs.
The spirit stick, when we got it and you wrapped it up and we went up to rally and you guys went up on the stage and unwrapped it and we were all like, oh! And then everybody else didn't really care, but we were all hyped, so it didn't matter, and it was a lot of fun.
And just worshiping with the girls in the camp environment is really powerful and moving. And then on Tuesday nights, I just think of Haley and Mario Kart racing. That was pretty epic.
Me, Stephanie, and Alexa stole the spirit stick from Aurora. Epic moment for sure. Will go down in history. And I remember that it was pretty easy. We went to group on the sly, and it was pretty easy to find the spirit stick, but then we could not figure out how to get it out. And so we tried to make a run for it and ended up getting caught. And so then Nicole made Stephanie and Alexa actually win it in a Netflix trivia contest, and they smoked the competition and won Denver the Spirit Stick, and it was awesome.
I got to meet, for the first time, the world's largest pair of underwear. And Renee just whipped them out of her backpack like it was no big deal, and everyone just acted super normal. And these things, they're freaking ginormous. And I was like, what is happening? And all of you guys start piling into the little leg holes, and I just couldn't believe what I was watching. And I think a couple of you were like, come on, get in. And I was like, you guys do a lot of weird things for, the gram.
My favorite memory with you 2020 senior dudes has got to be our small group time. And number one, the really intense games of Foursquare that we would get in and play before small group, and how just remembering every single time I would play thinking that I had a shot and I would get my butt absolutely whooped by you guys every single time. And then I would choose to be the referee so that I could call every single one of you out for being cheaters. That's my first favorite memory. And my second one's got to be small group, and how small group would either be lights off, everyone's grabbing a pillow or a beanbag, and we're having a therapy session, or we are spending the entire time trying to guess who farted. I'm looking at you, Stefano.
Being able to be a part of your baptism, that was a huge part for me. Danny and I, dunking you up there and on Sunday, and my heart is very, very tender for that moment.
You guys have been an awesome class, and honestly, one of the most resilient groups of students that I have had the pleasure of leading. Just the stuff that you guys have been through, Grace, with everything that happened with STEM last May, and then everything that's going down with Corona this May and this spring. I've just seen you guys face some hard stuff, and man, just get knocked down a little bit. But something I so admire of you guys is your resilience, and just that you don't give up and you don't let it discourage you, and you don't let the hard stuff take you down, that you just keep on going, you keep on getting up. And that is something that I'm learning about Jesus from you guys, is that, man, he gives us a spirit of power and not of fear. And like, even when we get knocked down, he gives us the strength to get back up.
What have you guys taught me? Well, you've taught me how to do this. Too bad you're leaving, because clearly I haven't mastered that just yet. You guys have also taught me how to be wholehearted, how to be present. I really admire that about you guys. You show up and you love big.
I think you guys have taught me this honesty in your relationship with Jesus. That it's not always perfect, it's not always the prettiest, it's not always what other people want for you, but where you're at, you're real with. And I think God's going to honor that. And I think that's beautiful. I think the church needs more people who are honest about the doubts and the struggles and the belief and just the wrestling match that a relationship with God is.
It's so incredible how God was able to bring so many different kids, so many different leaders with different backgrounds together, and just be such a strong group. It was super cool to see just you guys come together, support one another, include everyone, and just accept everyone in as they came, and no matter if they were the same as you or different than you.
When I think of what the class of 2020 has taught me about following Jesus, I picture them in worship, just really enthusiastic at the front, including each other. And then in small groups, when they share and, they'll hear one of the other ladies say something, and they'll say, "Oh, me too." And they'll realize they're not alone, and that they can kind of share each other's burdens that way, which is really cool. It reminds me that I'm not alone, and that there are others who want to help shoulder my burdens.
4 years ago, I signed up to be a part of Rev to teach young women about who Jesus was. And what actually happened was you guys taught me a lot about my faith, and you taught me a lot about Jesus. And you might not have even known that. So something that I've learned through this journey by watching you guys is that it's actually a wonderful, powerful thing to have questions and maybe even to have doubts about your faith. And I think I was always under the assumption that if you had questions or doubts about God, your faith was pretty weak. And I think that's not true. You're digging in and you're reading your Bibles and you're praying and you're journaling and you're trying to figure this thing out and how God fits into your life. And so what I've learned through that is it is a wonderful thing to have questions and to really, and not to stay there. Don't just stay in the questioning phase. You've shown me the importance of digging in and looking for those answers and asking God for some of those things. And while he might not answer every question I have, I've learned that it's so much safer and so much more important to bring those doubts and questions to him and to study about them instead of just sweeping them under the rug.
All those worship Wednesdays that we did, and it was a lot of fun. It was stressful. We messed up, but it was great, and I laughed, and it was an amazing time for me to learn more about my own faith. And how much worship is a part of my life and how much that is a part of my relationship with Christ.
I think the biggest thing that you guys have taught me about following Jesus is that Jesus never intends for me to grow in isolation. And what I mean by that is, as I've seen you guys just take steps to grow in your faith, take steps to take ownership in your relationship with God, that as you guys have done that, I've also seen you guys grow together as friends and as brothers. And it's really just taught me and reminded me that God never intends for me to grow in isolation, and that as I grow in my faith, he's always going to want me to grow in community and to grow with people and friends that he puts in my life around me. And you guys have just really reinforced and taught that and shown that to me, that as you grow in your faith with Jesus and in your relationship with him, that you're also going to grow in relationship with people around you. And I'm really, really thankful for that.
I think so. I'm proud of you guys. I feel like an old man kind of saying that, but I am. Like, I think you guys are cool, and I think you guys have really overcome a lot in life. You guys have been faithful to Rev. You guys have really just leaned in and loved on each other well. And I don't know if I've ever been around a group before where it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, how you act. Like, we love you and you're a part of us. And you guys have done that week in and week out for the last few years. And I don't know. I'm going to miss you guys. Love you guys.
If there's one thing that I want you to take with you as you go, it's this idea that when we're connected to God, we are light, we are salty, and when you stay connected to God, you can share that light, that hope, that flavor with everyone that you come into contact with. I've so enjoyed watching you guys do that over the past 6-7 years, and I hope you keep on doing it. I love you guys so much.
You always brought the goofiness. You're always smiling. You always showed up consistently, and you always brought that joy. And you reflected joy even in hard times. After your school shooting, you were able to leverage that pain that you felt and started teaching out of it. And that's what Jesus calls us to do. He calls us to use our imperfections and the bad things around us to bring light to the rest of the world.
You guys have become my family, and I've loved spending time with you and praying with you and worshiping with you and just seeing what God has to say about your lives and my life and this journey that we get to be on together. Some of you girls have gone through so much, and it's just incredible to see your faith in God and how you seek him and don't give up and just be in God's presence wherever you're at. So just want to say thank you, and I'm so thankful that God brought you guys into my life and that I got to be your leader. And like I said, it means more than you'll ever know.
Something that I want to send you guys off with is just the knowledge that you can do hard things. Life is gonna continue to be hard, and you're going to continue to face challenges, and you can keep on getting back up. And yeah, and I want you guys to remember that you always have us. Jesus is always, always with you. Even when it doesn't feel like it, even when things are tough, even when they feel heavy, even when he feels distant, Jesus is always with you. And he will always give you the strength to keep on getting back up.
There will be light at the end of this tunnel, and you guys are going into a very new season of life where you can start making your own decisions, whether it be college or full-time job or military or whatever that is. I know that you all will make great workers, students, or soldiers, whatever that may be, and I'm very excited to see where this next season takes you. I love you all so much, and just wanted to wish you happy graduation and good luck.
As you guys leave and go different places, just know that this is home and you're always welcome. We're always here cheering you on. We want to hear from you guys. We're rooting for you to do great things. So keep it up, and we love you.
First off, that this is not the only community they'll ever have, that this is not a one-time deal, that if they seek it and put themselves out there, they can find new communities of Jesus followers that will help shoulder their burdens and who will point them towards Christ. The other thing is that we have the Holy Spirit inside of us, and I just always want them to remember that it's the most powerful force in the universe, and that His strength is made perfect in our weakness, and He can do things beyond what we can imagine or ever dream of.
It's kind of like an open letter written from the perspective of God to us, His children. And it's called the New Testament Gamble by John Lynch. And I'm just going to read it because it's a little long. What if I tell them who they are? What if I take away any element of fear, of condemnation, judgment, or rejection? What if I tell them I love them and I will always love them? That I love them right now, no matter what they've done, as much as I love my only son? That there's nothing they can do to make my love go away? What if I tell them there are no lists? What if I tell them I don't keep a log of past offenses, of how little they pray, how often they've let me down, or made promises they didn't keep? What if I tell them they can stop beating themselves up? They can stop being so formal, stiff, and jumpy around me? What if I tell them I'm crazy about them? What if I tell them even if they were to run to the ends of the earth and do the most horrible, unthinkable things, that when they come back, I'd receive them with tears and a party? What if I tell them they don't have to put on a mask, that it is okay to be who they are at this moment with all their junk? They don't have to pretend about how close we are, how much they pray or don't, how much Bible they read or don't. What if they knew they don't have to look over their shoulder in fear that if things get too good, the other shoe's gonna drop? What if they knew I will never, ever use the word punish in relation to them?
The same God that brought you to Rev, and that brought you to each other, and that taught you everything that you know through Rev, is the same God that is going to go with you as you leave Rev. And there's a verse that came to my mind. It's Joshua 1:9, and it says, "Have I not commanded you? Do not be afraid and do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." And I want you guys to remember and hold on to the fact that the same God that was with you in small group is going to be with you as you leave Rev. The same God that was with you at camp is going to be with you as you leave Rev. The same God that was present in all the small group conversations we had, all the talks that we dissected, all the laughs and just the friendship that we shared, He's going to be the same God to you as you continue throughout your life, and that He will never leave you and that He will never change. Even though it may feel like circumstances of life are changing, that God's presence with you is not going to change, and that He loves you and He's with you guys no matter what happens.
We love you guys, and I'm excited for what God has for you guys in this next part of your story.
As you leave high school and move on to college and the next seasons of your life, one thing I want you guys to hear and take with you is that you are enough. That God created you exactly the way you are, and I'm excited to see all the lives impacted by the light that you shine wherever you go. Have fun, make memories, and I'm excited to see what God has planned for you next. I love you, and I'll miss you, and I can't wait to see the amazing things that you guys do. Bye!
Class of 2020, congratulations. Thank you. I love you, and I wish you the best.